Hello my dear students, in this video let's study a new topic, that is evolution of international monetary system. Economic and financial transactions among different countries require some sort of arrangement that could facilitate settlement of payments. These arrangements form the subject matter of the international monetary system. The foreign exchange market allows currencies to be exchanged in order to facilitate international trade and commerce. The payment for international transactions form part of international monetary system. So MNCs depend upon the exchange market to exchange their currencies to a foreign currency and foreign currency to domestic currency. They need international monetary system. So international monetary system had a long evolution going back to the days of gold standard. Let's see the meaning of international monetary system. Meaning, international monetary systems are a set of internationally agreed rules, conventions, and supporting institutions that facilitate international trade, cross-border investment, and generally the reallocation of capital between nation states. That means it is an institutional framework which facilitate international payments, movement of capital, and exchange rate determination. In simple, international monetary system refers to the system and rules that governs the use and exchange of money around the world and between countries. That is the meaning of international monetary system. The objective of the international monetary system is to contribute to stable and high global growth while fostering price and financial stability. That means the objective of IMS is implementation or adopting a successful exchange system to stabilize the international payment system. Then let's see the evolution of international monetary system. The international monetary system has been through several distinct stages of evolution. First one is the bimetallism, then classical gold standard, interwar period, Bretton Woods system, flexible or floating exchange rate system. Let's say it in one by one. First one, that is a bimetallism. It was prior to 1870. Bimetallism also called as a specie commodity standard. Okay. In early days, prior to evolution of an international monetary system, trade payments were settled through barter, but there were many inconveniences, and so to overcome those difficulties, traders began using metal, especially gold or silver, for settling payments. Subsequently, metal took the form of coin, which had the stamp of the sovereign on the basis of weight and fineness of metal, giving birth to the specie commodity standard. That means before the international monetary system established, traders were using the barter system for payment for their exchange of goods. Barter system means exchange of goods for goods. But due to the difficulty arise from the barter system, traders started to use gold or silver to settle their payments. So this resulted in the gold or silver took the form of coins and it become official currency and started to use it as a medium of exchange. So all this resulted in the emergence of bimetallism. The Coinage Act of 1792 in the USA accepted the dollar as the monetary unit of the country and fixed its value in terms of gold and silver. This led to the emergence of the bimetallism standard. That means USA announced dollar as its currency, and dollar was minted using gold and silver, and the value of the dollar is determined on the basis of the gold and silver content. Thus, USA became the first country to adopt bimetallism as a monetary system in 1792. Let's see the meaning. Bimetallism refers to the system of having coins in two metals, so usually gold and silver, which are legal tender. That means minting of coins using two metals like gold and silver is called as bimetallism. The coins were full-bodied coins or debased coins. The coins are maybe two forms, maybe it may full-bodied coins or debased coins. Full-bodied coins means the face value of the coin is equal to the value of metal contained therein. That is a full-bodied coins. Debased coins means the value of the face value of the coin is greater than the value of the metal. That is a debased coin. For example, for full-bodied coin, if rupees 500 worth gold was used for minting the coin and its face value also 500, then it is a full bodied coin. Means here the gold content is also 500, the face value also 500, then that is such a type of coin is called as full bodied coins. Debased coins means if face value of the coin is 1000 and the content of the gold is 500, then it is a debased coin, means face value is greater than the gold content. So these are the two form the bimetallism may have two forms. Under this system, adequate gold and silver was kept in reserves. Means under the bimetallism, the country must have a gold and silver as a reserves. Means they must held a reserves of gold and silver. It is a monetary standard where a value of country's monetary units defined as equivalent of either certain quantity of gold or silver. Some countries were on the gold standard, some on silver standard, and some on both. That means here the value of currency was determined on the basis of quantity or value of gold or silver. So some countries were used gold as a medium of exchange, and some other adopted silver, and some countries adopted both. Okay, it was used in Britain till 1816, in US till 1870, and France had bimetallism until 1878. In China, India, Germany, and the Netherlands were on the silver standards. Means here bimetallism was used by Britain until 1816, by US in 1870, and France used bimetallism up to 1878. But China, India, Germany, and Netherlands, they using the silver standard for a medium of exchange. In totally, bimetallism is a double standard of coinage in both gold and silver that was used as international means of payment with the exchange rates among countries, among currencies determined by either their gold or silver content of their coin. This is the bimetallism. Now let's see the next stage, that is a classical gold standard. It was there up to 1870 to 1914. From the ancient times, gold has been used as a medium of exchange as it is durable, portable, and easily tradable. Increase in the trade activity during the free trade period in the early 19th century led to the need for a more formalized system for settling business transactions. This made gold desirable to be used as a standard to determine the value of a currency. That means in ancient time, gold was used as a medium for settlement of transactions. Because of the increase in the trade activities, it resulted for the need for a new monetary system was arised. So this result in use of gold to determine the value of the currency. So this leads to the establishment or emergence of the gold standard. From 1876 to 1914, the exchange rates were dictated by the gold standard. Means from 1876 to 1940, gold standard was used to determine the value of the currency. The gold standard lasted for nearly 40 years and the center for the international financial system. The gold standard possessed broader features than the specie commodity standard. That means gold was used as a medium of exchange for nearly 40 years. and it was broader than the bimetallism system. Let's see the meaning. Classical gold standard is a monetary system in which gold coins are freely minted by central bank of a country and paper currency is convertible into gold. That means under the classical gold standard, the gold coins are minted by the central bank to determine the currency value, and the paper currency is easily convertible into gold. This is the meaning of gold standard. In simple, the gold standard is a set of policy tools and institutions through which government provides money and controls the money supply in the economy. It originated in England in the 17th century when the pound was minted of gold, but it was officially announced in 1816 when gold became the official tender for payment of public and private debt. By the 1870s, the gold standard was widely adopted. The gold standard, classical gold standard, was first started and adopted by England, and it was officially used in 1816. It was adopted by many countries like Germany in 1871, France adopted it in 1878, USA adopted classical gold standard in 1879, and Russia in 1897. The fundamental rule of the gold standard was that each country should set a par value of its currency in terms of gold and enforce its value in commerce and trade. That means the main rule of the gold standard is the country has to determine the face value of its currency in terms of gold, and the same value must be used for the trading activities. That is the rule of the classical gold standard. The essential features of gold standard. What are the rules for the gold standard? The country adopting the gold standard shall fix the value of currency in terms of specific weight and fineness of gold and guarantees a two-way convertibility. That means the country who are adopting the gold standard must fix the value of the currency on the basis of the content of the gold, and at the same time here paper currency must be converted into gold and gold must be converted into paper currency. That must convertibility must be guaranteed. Then export and import of gold were allowed so that it could flow freely among the gold standard countries. That means here the free movement of the gold among the gold standard countries. The central bank, acting as the FX monetary institution, held gold reserves in direct relationship with the currency it had issued. That means central bank is the head of the institution or head to mint the gold coins. Then the government allowed unrestricted minting of gold and melting of gold coins at the option of the holder. That means the gold can be freely minted and melted without any restriction. Then let's see the different forms of gold standard. The first one is gold specie standard. The actual currency in circulation consisted of gold coins with fixed gold content. That means under gold specie standard, here gold coins was used to as a medium of exchange, and that gold coins consist of fixed gold content. Under this form, gold coins were minted and banknotes were exchanged for gold on demand. It was the price at which gold could be bought and sold. It was the purest form of gold standard and was known as the gold specie standard. Then next form is a gold bullion standard. It is a system in which gold coins do not circulate, but the authorities agreed to sell gold bullion on demand at a fixed price in exchange for circulating currency. That means it is a modified version of a gold specie standard. Under this system, gold coins were withdrawn from circulation. Only paper currency was a legal tender, and it was expressed in terms of a fixed quantity of gold. The basis of money remains a fixed weight of gold, but the currency in circulation consists of paper notes, with the monetary authorities. That means the central bank of the country ready to convert on demand unlimited amount of paper currency into gold and vice versa. Paper currency was used for the settlement of transactions within a country, but gold was still used for international settlement under gold bullion standard. In here simple, here gold coins were withdrawn. Instead of gold coins, paper currency was used as a medium of exchange, but paper currency value was determined on the basis of gold, and paper currency was used for a settlement within the country, and the gold was used for the international transaction. Then gold exchange standard. The government guarantees a fixed exchange rate to the currency of another country that does use a gold standard, regardless of what type of notes or coins are used as a means of exchange. In this standard, the value of the means of exchange as fixed external value in terms of gold that is independent of the inherent value of the means of exchange itself. It is also next version or modified version of a gold bullion standard. Under this system, a country's currency is expressed in terms of another country's currency, which was on the gold bullion standard. The authorities stand ready to convert at a fixed rate the paper currency issued by them to the paper currency of another country which is operating in a gold bullion standard. The gold exchange standard was considered a more efficient version of the gold standard since it concerned on the gold and reduced the need for the central bank to hold gold, since foreign currency was an acceptable method of making cross-border arguments. Here the paper currency was exchanged to the another paper currency of another country. That is a gold exchange standard. Next, decline of the gold standard. What's the reason for the declining of the gold standard? The gold standard as an international monetary system was accepted by most of the countries until the First World War broke out in 1914. The strained relations among the warring nations further impeded the free flow of gold from one nation to another. In 1914, First World War broken. Because of that reason, the warring nation required huge money supply for financing the activities born out of war. This was not possible under the gold standard. So, besides there was because of the First World War, this gold standard was suspended. Along with that, another reason is besides there was a transfer of funds problem that shook the balance of payments. That means the warring nations increased the money supply and had to suspend the convertibility of currency into gold. The exchange rate parity was then greatly disturbed. All this was a deviation from the norms of the gold standard and it affected the balance of payment. Then USA demanded repayment of war debt from France and France demanded reparation from Germany to meet the war debt. USA supplied goods to Europe and this helped the USA to enjoy a trade surplus. Then the dollar turned to be stronger whereas the European currency became the weak. So and USA demanded the repayment of the loan from the France and France demanded it from the Germany. So all this leads to the suspension of the gold standard. So here let's end the video. Here we studied the two standards, that is first one is bimetallism and second evolution or second stage, that is a gold standard. In the next video let's continue with the third stage, that is a interwar period. Thank you.